Asher, take it away.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Grassvan, it is going to be the South Korean Terran making his triumphant return from the military. In the red here, it is INnoVation.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Grassvan, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing Alpha X. It is RagnaroK. We have made it. We have arrived. We said it earlier, but we came in with 3 series before us. We have already gone through the first 2. Now we have 1 left to end the night. And I'm very curious to see the state here of INnoVation. I 100% agree with what you're saying, how he is basically a macro god, a mechanical god as well, with his control, with his execution. Nothing too fancy when it comes to aggressive builds or anything like that. We have seen him do a little bit of it in the past, but already RagnaroK is going to be setting the pace of the game, going for a gas pool opener.
Yeah, okay, so this is something that we see a lot out of RagnaroK, but it's pretty unusual apart from that. It is something that's, I want to say creeping into the meta just because of the success, especially of some LATAM players recently. Yeah. Players such as Eric and Cham have been showing that this kind of style of play, while not traditionally thought of as very solid in ZVT, has a bit more potential than maybe people give it credit.
Yeah, I'm really curious because we have seen both Eric and Cham use this to great effect to get like early leads, to get map control at the cost of their economy, and I'm curious to see if this can work against the best of the best, against some of the Korean players. You know, that's kind of where this build can test its mettle, and we can see RagnaroK has a different twist here. He gets link speed, but he hasn't pulled out of gas completely. He does leave one in.
Leaves one in, only makes the first 2 lings as well, so this is a very tricky opener. He'll be able to get a very quick third as well with this, so it looks like he is sending that drone out for that third now. And yeah, this is just a very odd opener because he's going to have a very fast link speed, but it doesn't appear that he's doing anything with it.
Yeah, again, just for that map control. We do see another 2 lings on the way here, as we're going to be droning up behind this as well. Eric does this as well. It's just to make sure that, hey, you know, it deals with those it deals with those Reapers. But also, as you're kind of pointing out, ideally you do also line this up to try and maybe snipe the SCV that's building the CC to do a little bit more damage.
Yeah, but okay, RagnaroK going to be making 6 more lings here, so going up to 10 lings, we have some serious potential here. We can go for a few different things. He could be catching the Reaper out here. INnoVation doing the right thing by keeping that Reaper back, just keeping it at home until the lings show themselves. RagnaroK going to be dodging out everything. INnoVation gets in, sees that speed is either not researching or finished, sees that the gas is missing as well, so you should be able to piece together that it's finished, and we're going to be seeing a big defensive response out of him. He pulls all his SCVs away from the natural, so there's that.
Yeah, he's fully aware of the link flood coming his way. The Hellions do go down to low ground as well. Nice control so far, just chipping away at those lings, but we are going to be getting a bit of a surround on at least one of them.
Yeah, very slippery Hellion control coming out from INnoVation. We do see going to be 1 SCV going down, but I think that's it.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a link in the main base, and we get a full scout as well, but I don't know if this was really worth it here for RagnaroK. He gets 2 SCVs and 1 Hellion for 7 lings, and now that was a bit of a costly trade here. Does he have enough to defend against that counterattack because the Hellions are moving out across the map? Oh, never mind.
Oh yeah, we are going to be having those Hellions just get pushed back here. And it's a pretty interesting situation here because INnoVation has actually gone for a 2-base opening as well. And RagnaroK has done a very good job transitioning behind this and just continuing to drone, not overcommitting despite the aggression. Something that he's very good at. He's very good at showing high levels of aggression and then getting the lead behind that in a way where it's really hard for the Terran to know whether he's committing or not.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. It can be really difficult to figure out what is going on, but we do have that third CC now on the way for INnoVation a little bit later because it was a 1-1-1 opener, but it is on the way nonetheless. We are also committing into Cloak, and we're banking up the Banshees back at home for INnoVation.
Yeah, so it's going to be that 2cc Banshee opener, and despite his really nice defense here, he's not going to be ahead because of that, because it is a 2cc build. He still needs to get some damage with the Hellions and Banshees here to be equal with the Zerg.
Yeah, definitely has. Oh, I smudged a little bit. I don't know if you saw, but RagnaroK had to kill one of his own creep tumors as it was covering a base. The creep tumor wasn't even done. He could have cancelled it, by the way, but no, he chose to kill it instead. That's just the kind of player that RagnaroK is. Oh.
Yeah, he does kill it. Doesn't even spread it and then kill the expired creep tumor.
Smudge, Poppy, Smudge. As behind this, we do see, you know, everything's pretty standard from RagnaroK. He's been droning. We have our lair on the way, our Bailey nest as well. We're taking additional gases. Oh, we're actually taking all 6 gases actually from RagnaroK. Oh my god.
Yeah, okay. Throwing down the Evos a little bit later as well, so I think potentially we could be seeing a Spire here.
Yeah, this is a lot of gas to be using on just Ling Bane. So whether it's a Spire, whether it's a fast Hydrogen, we should be seeing tech of some kind. Meanwhile, from the side of INnoVation, the Cloak is now done and the Banshees do dip into the main.
Yeah, they're going to be dipping in, taking out a couple of the drones. We do see that Spire is going to be going down for RagnaroK, so looks like RagnaroK has made the read that he's playing against 2cc Banshee and picks a build that's very strong against it.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, these Banshees, oh my god, are doing a lot of damage here. 6 drones in total have gone down, but the Queen positioning is too good. Oh my god, we do see them just shut down at least one of those Banshees. Yeah,
those Banshees going to be turned back, shut down, and behind this, we can see that INnoVation, a little bit delayed with the push. Yeah, this is, his medevacs actually started quite late because he was microing the Banshees, so not quite the INnoVation of old yet. That's okay.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
Yeah, just slipping up a little bit in that macro as he's controlling that Banshee in the middle of the map, just trying to force some transfuses, trying to force some micro out of RagnaroK. What's scary, though, is that INnoVation, he didn't scout the third base. He hasn't seen the additional gases. He hasn't seen the Spire either. He doesn't know that Mutas is going to be upon him. Yeah,
so the reason why this opening's so good against 2cc Banshee here is with this Banshee opening, you have a bit of it's a very slightly earlier push, but you kind of have to preserve these units. You have so little back at home if you lose this push convincingly, and that's something that Muta openings are really good at doing. You have a big amount of Ling Bane, and you have the Mutas to clean up the medevacs on the retreat. So if INnoVation doesn't know about this, and he goes for this late push, and his push just gets completely dominated, he's going to be in a terrible spot.
Really will be, and hey, this late push is going to be even later here as Lings are just forcing him back home time and time again. RagnaroK wasn't able to do too much damage, but again, he's able to delay INnoVation that much longer as RagnaroK is getting ready back at home. We have Banelings on the way, we have Mutas coming out as well. Oh, they're actually getting caught out in the middle of the map though. They have been revealed.
Yeah, the Mutas have been revealed, so we'll have to see what INnoVation wants to do about this. We see those turrets being thrown down immediately here. Looks like they're actually already down, so he must have pieced this together anyway. Maybe recognizing that the upgrades weren't done on the Lings when they should have been. And this push is going to be taking this base down.
Yeah, the 4th hatchery is going to be going down, but at the same time, the Ling Muta go for a massive counterattack, and the 3rd CC of INnoVation is going to be forfeit.
Yeah, down it goes. And actually, I just realized for RagnaroK, okay, no, the 1-1 does finish up just now. INnoVation here, going to be pushing very deep on creep. His army very heavily stimmed. Massive surround going to be coming out from RagnaroK. We do see the Banes being forced down, but no one gets through, and this push gets absolutely crushed.
Wow, that one Baneling, the hero Baneling, takes down the majority of the Marine army here, and now INnoVation is forced back at home. He's forced to try and defend this 3rd base. RagnaroK has the map control. He has the Mutas as well. He can dance not just between the 3rd, but into the main, into the natural.
Yeah, that was very adventurous there of INnoVation to be going for that push with no energy on the medevacs left, his army half stimmed to death, and that deep on creep without knowing where the run by force was. Yeah, maybe just a little bit of rust here for
Yeah, it's just look, the machine, it gets rusty, it needs to be oiled up, and we're more than willing to to do that for him. As we do see the mutas dipping between the bases once again, just keeping INnoVation busy back at home. We have Thor's on the way, 2-2 just finishing up as well. But RagnaroK with this map control, I mean, he already had a backup 4th base. He now has a 5th on the way. He's droned up to 80.
Yeah, he has full map control and he finds himself in a really nice position now. He is regaining that hatchery that he lost, but apart from that, he's pretty much at the drone count that he needs, and he can just play a pure Lingbane muta, have a bit of fun from here.
He really can. Already one tank gets picked off by those mutas. At the same time, Banelings are going for a run by, but INnoVation does turn back around. He is in position to deal with these Banelings.
Yeah, that he is. He's going to be pushing them back, so a lot of Banelings going down for RagnaroK. Pretty poor trades. Actually going to be losing almost every Baneling. Beautiful movement from Inno to cut off this army, and that's going to be confirming the kills on the Banelings, and suddenly RagnaroK is actually in quite a bit of trouble. We see a lot of Banelings being made back at home. These mutas can go for a bit of a counter-attack. They can clean up the reinforcements here, maybe get a bit of economic damage while he sits back at home on those Banelings.
Yeah, the movement, the control from INnoVation was insane as he set up that surround. At the same time, he's pushing it forward towards that 5th base. The mutas have been picked off one after the other. They do find a Thor in the middle of the map. Oh, but at the cost of more mutas.
Yeah, the cost of more mutas, and we see INnoVation now with this massive marine tank force. Unfortunately for him, a lot of his factory units have been shaved off, so the only splash that he has now is just these 2 tanks. And if RagnaroK gets a really nice angle, if he can delay this for long enough to get a huge Baneling count, he might be able to clean this up. As here we go, he is going to be pulling the trigger a little bit, doesn't want to fully commit here. INnoVation forcing himself into the natural now.
And here we go. The Lingbane's going to be looking to collapse on INnoVation's army, coming in from the north, from the south, from behind. He surrounds everything, and hey, he may lose the Spire, but he cleans up the army.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful engagement there from RagnaroK. Fantastic micro spreading out the links and the Banes. Doesn't even lose the Spire.
Yeah, exactly. Despite it burning down, it will remain at that HP because... don't worry about it. The mutas are dipping in towards that 3rd base as well. INnoVation was pretty committed with that push. Still has a pretty threatening army, all things considered here, as the mutas are dipping into the main base to try to get on top of the production.
Yeah, the Muta Overseer Force pooping in fear. And we do have INnoVation moving across the map with the Thors, with the Marines. He just has to send it at this point. He is completely all in now with this 8-rack setup.
Exactly, he has to end the game with this push. Unfortunately, as you mentioned earlier, no splash damage here, no tanks, no Widow Mines, just Marines and 2 Thors.
Yeah, the Thors can do a really good job of soaking up the Banelings, but RagnaroK has already shown his micro with these units is fantastic. INnoVation not necessarily in his best form right now either, as we do see the army going to be pushed back. A bit of a deep chase off creep for RagnaroK, but he has more than enough.
Yeah, RagnaroK, he's going in pretty deep, puppy, but that's what we want to see. GG gets called, and RagnaroK will take game number 1.
GG, very nice game coming out from these 2 players. A lot of fun to watch, but RagnaroK just a little bit too strong for INnoVation in that one.
Yeah, some pretty interesting openers as well. RagnaroK going for that gas pool opener and going for like an offbeat like Ling flood timing or Ling speed timing.
Yeah.
Where the speedlings didn't delay the CC, but they were, I guess, designed to maybe catch a couple of workers. But INnoVation saw it coming well ahead of time, and he had already evacuated the natural. So yeah, some really interesting dynamics to begin with, as it kind of led into a much more awkward game off of that.
I kind of felt like he was skill checking him, I'm not gonna lie.
Maybe a little bit. And yeah, as we mentioned earlier, because of INnoVation's follow-up and going for the 2-base play, there was a lot of pressure on him to deal some damage. I mean, the Banshees did okay for themselves, but that big push was shut down. Maybe a little bit ill-advised for him to commit, as you were saying, with a bit of a weakened army. You know, he was kind of coming into it battered and bruised into a big, pretty important fight. Not the most ideal condition for his army to be in.
Yeah, some slightly uncharacteristic mistakes from INnoVation, just kind of rushing at certain times, and the macro letting him down just a tiny bit at certain times as well. But I'm sure he'll be feeling a little bit more comfortable now. He's gotten a good feel for RagnaroK's strength as a player as well. I think returning as Inno is coming up against these top Zergs like RagnaroK, like Dark as well. It's going to be a little bit nerve-wracking, as I feel like a lot of TvZ is having a feel for how much units they're going to have at certain times and things like that. And if you're not used to the strength of your opponent, it can be a little bit tricky to gauge.
Oh yeah, it can be tricky indeed, and that's something that you get through experience, through constantly playing against these players in a competitive setting, whether they're online tournaments or whether they're things like GSLs. But we'll see if he can get his groove back, if he can get his funk on, as mate, count us into game 2.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. And spawning. In the top left-hand corner of the map, it is the red Terran. It is INnoVation.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Babylon, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing Alpha X, leading this series 1-0. Not just this series, it's a qualifying match. Bear that in mind. It is RagnaroK.
Okay.
Bobby, it's going for a hatch first.
Adam.
He's crazy. As opposed to game number 1, RagnaroK is not going to be going for that gas pool shenanigans. Is going for something a little bit more normal, a little bit more sane, a little bit more standard.
Yeah, I think on a map like this, it makes sense to play things a little bit more straight up. You have the defensive properties of the ramp. You also have a shorter rush distance, so things that he was getting away with there, like using those speedlings for pressure and then droning heavily behind it, are a little bit more difficult to pull off at times. So I think it can be better to just approach things in a more standard way, and also just, mixing up his play, which RagnaroK he is fantastic at. He's come into his own as a really fantastic tournament player over the years, just because he is so very good at mixing up his player.
Yeah, exactly. He's so unpredictable at times, and that has benefited him quite a lot in his career as a pro gamer, and it's something that I'm sure he's going to be flexing here as well in these qualifiers, as he does go for a much more standard opener. But just because the initial opener looks standard doesn't mean that the follow-up will be. RagnaroK, he's more than willing to throw down a Roach Warren. He's more than willing to go for a Roach push.
Yeah, of course, and we are in a little bit of a shorter rush distance map, but so far everything looking pretty standard from the two players. We also see INnoVation in that last game, as a reaction to the gas pool, went for the double gas opener, which is, I think that's part of what makes the gas first opener good in ZBT, is it forces that kind of reaction. But I'm hoping to see INnoVation, in the ways of old, going for his 3cc.
Yeah, let's go, Poppy. I would love to see that as well, as the first Reaper gets across the map, is dancing here with these Lings. Let's get one Ling for his troubles, not too bad, and is going to be confirming the third base location. Again, something to actually be aware of against RagnaroK, making sure there's no crazy 2-base all-in, and mate, ask and you shall receive. INnoVation. That's the third CC.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to be getting a bit of classic INnoVation here. That 3cc 8-rack's a bit of a trademark of his, and yeah, expecting to see some relatively standard play now.
Speaking of, you asked and you got it. I asked and I'm getting it too, Bobby. We have that Roach Warren for RagnaroK.
Yeah, okay, so that Roach Warren in a very tricky position as well. It's going to be extremely hard for the Reaper to get here, just because that's pretty much the last place that you get to after diving into the main. So this is well hidden, and it's well hidden as well because of this third. I think this is a build that I believe Dark uses it quite a lot as well, where it's similar to the 9-Roach build that Lambo popularized with his free MMR Fridays, but it's a lot better hidden because the third's at a normal time.
Yeah, exactly. It's better hidden, and typically it's not as committed as well. You can macro off of this. Is just, I imagine, going to be designed to take control of the natural, but no, never mind. We have 10 roaches on the way. My god, that's a lot of roaches.
Yeah, so this can really catch a player off guard, and unfortunately for INnoVation here, he is going for a Viking opening, so he's not going to have a Banshee for this. This is going to be a very tough hold.
Yeah, it really is going to be difficult here. How many workers can INnoVation save? How many will he lose as the Roaches are moving out across the map? INnoVation back at home does have a bunker on the way. The Viking going to be shooing away these Overlords, and we are commencing Marauder production.
Yeah, Marauders need to be made here just because of the Roaches. There's not really anything else you can do in this position. You just want to pump out as many units as you possibly can, and here we go. He is going to be getting that tech lab on the starport, trying to rush out a tank as well. It's not going to be in time, but the bunker is on time. The repair is in time too. Looks like RagnaroK going to try to run straight past this, but he's actually taking a lot of splash from the Hellions.
Yeah, a lot of Roaches are going to be going down. How many SCVs can we get, though? That's going to be the question. He is droning behind this. It is not all in. It is designed to get you ahead economically, but oh god, he's going to be losing every single Roach here, and I feel like he's not getting enough kills.
Yeah, very, very solid defense from INnoVation. He was so sharp with getting that bunker down immediately, and behind this has been macroing up cleanly. And with the 3cc setup, he's in a pretty good spot. If this was a 2cc opener once again, things might be a little bit tough, but because he has that 3cc of energy towards mules, he's going to be quite okay here.
He really is. RagnaroK at the end of this, he invested into 10 Roaches and he got 5 SCV kills. That is nowhere near enough damage. This has not paid off for RagnaroK, and now he's going to be droning heavily, don't get us wrong, but a lot of resources are down the drain and he's going to be vulnerable to a counterattack.
Yeah, he definitely is. As we see that Lair is finishing up, he is taking all of his gases once again, but this time I think it might be for Ravagers.
Yeah, there we go. Roach speed is on the way, so he is going to be invested and stuck with Roach Ravager as a composition of choice. We should be seeing, yep, 1-1 on the way as well. Probably we should be seeing +1 range. So, yeah, RagnaroK going to be having a very different army composition compared to Game 1.
I think it might be melee. This looks like it's going to be a, yeah, there we go, Lingbane Rav setup.
Yeah, but he cancels melee and he restarts range.
Wrong.
He's keeping the Cassis guessing.
Well, lad, actually, I think this is going to be melee. And RagnaroK's like, I don't want him to be right. We can't let these Terran players get away with this.
True, Papi, true. We do have that Baneling nest though, so this is going to be a Lingbane Roach Rav setup, as you said. It's just quite interesting that we have a commitment into upgrades that benefit the Roaches. That could be for maybe a future Lurker transition setup. It could be that RagnaroK is thinking that further ahead. I know you love it, Papi. You love it.
Gross.
Yeah,
RagnaroK going to be opting for a very defensive setup here, and I don't mind it on Babylon just because of the north side of this map. It's very, very difficult to push in through this north side, but I am a little bit worried if you can't creep up to the high ground over on this left-hand base, that this is going to be a really nice avenue of attack for INnoVation to get some tanks there.
And as you say that, the tanks are making their way across the map. INnoVation, he's aware of that ledge, he's aware of that ramp, and he's going to be using it to his advantage to lay siege upon this triangular third base. RagnaroK, he has an army, but he's not quite in position for this.
Yeah, this base is in real trouble now. There are a lot of Roaches, but there's 3 tanks. And on the high ground here, without that vision, because he used the Viking earlier to clear out the Overlord, so everything's sort of falling into place together.
It really is. At the same time, we have a massive Ling counterattack to try to catch some reinforcements, but the reinforcements, they are coming in bulk. The Lings can't do too much. They're actually setting up a surround.
Yeah, they are going to pull back for the surround, so INnoVation, he's going to have to catch onto this and pull back, but the tank's getting some fantastic shots. Looks like INnoVation actually targeting the tanks on the Roach Ravager, so he'll be able to get some very high value trades here. That was quite well done, but all in all, we see with the supply in the state that it's in, it's a relatively even game. We're still giving the slight edge to the Terran here.
I mean, we do see INnoVation with quite a hefty upgrade lead here. 2-2 on the way. RagnaroK transitioning into +2 melee after getting +1 range. Again, interesting that he kind of dipped his toes into range, but he's not really committing to it. Interesting choice, as his Ling counterattack is going to be trying to get the CC, but doesn't get it.
Yeah, good defense from INnoVation. INnoVation's macro as well, extremely clean. I don't know what system that he has to be able to just constantly produce, but it works. It works very well.
It's insane, Bobby, insane. In the midst of all this, as he does defend his 4th CC, we have a double drop slipping into the main base. RagnaroK has done a great job at creeping up towards the north, but here towards the south, he has quite limited vision.
Yeah, that he does. But you see INnoVation going to be coming in with this drop to the north here. Getting into the main, he spots the hive. Really important scout.
Doesn't just spot the hive, he focuses down the spawning pool and he will get it.
Yeah, spawning pool goes down. Big reset, especially with that melee coming in.
Exactly, no adrenal glands for RagnaroK. Meanwhile, we do see another double drop towards the northern side, just clearing up some of that creep. Meanwhile, the drop that went into the main is going to actually drop down here onto this hatchery and force another cancel.
Yeah, the would-be 6 is going to be cancelled. I mean, every hatch does matter when you're playing Ling Bane-based styles, and we see the Vipers coming out now for RagnaroK, so he is going to be looking to have this setup where he can take out tanks or deny the tanks from defending themselves.
Yeah, he's going to have a little bit more anti-air as well with those power bombs on those drops on these medevacs, but before that happens, of course, the Vipers are not ready yet, and INnoVation, he's just relentless. He wants that hatchery once again, isn't going to get it, but does apply that pressure, does do some of that damage.
I know you didn't ask, but I have to let you know that INnoVation is using the Diva pack. As we do have a big cleanup through the middle there.
Why are you calling him out for, mate? What's going on? As the double drop towards the north does take down to that 5th hatchery, and an INnoVation, he's just forcing himself in towards the southern side. Again, very little creep threat here.
I'm pretty sure RagnaroK uses the 2, but here we go. He is going to be shoving in here with the tanks. Once those tanks are sieged up, this is a no-zerg zone. Unless the Vipers can get in, but no, the Vipers... Oh, that was so sick. So RagnaroK, he recognizes that the Vipers were getting focused down by the Marines, so he first throws down the Blinding Cloud on the Marines and then on the tanks.
There you go, Blinding Clouds on everything. The tank push does get cleaned up. We do have a drop into the main base, but it also does get deflected as well. INnoVation not really finding the damage that he was looking for. We even get a power bomb on those medevacs. Ooh.
Yeah, this medevac going to be going down with our precious cargo on board. But behind this, we see INnoVation going up into 3-3. Both players relatively even on the upgrades. INnoVation losing those tanks was pretty painful. But with 3-3 on the horizon and +2 still pretty far away from RagnaroK, I actually still quite like his position.
The other added thing, and I think it's because the spawning pool was killed earlier, but RagnaroK did not start Adrenal. Despite having Hive for so long, he doesn't have that upgrade for his Link, so they're not going to be as useful as they otherwise would be. And yeah, that can come into play here in the next fight.
RagnaroK even, INnoVation even getting his 5th on location here. Very greedy, and the Link Scout is going to be able to slow that down, but I love the confidence.
5th base is on the way. The Bio Army pushing up this ramp as well. That hatchery is weakened from earlier. We do see the Ling Bane a little bit out of position, but he's coming in from behind.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier. The creep not being pushed out in front of this base makes it very difficult to defend. INnoVation taking a fantastic fight right there, and he is smelling blood now.
He really is. The Blinding Clouds were good, but there just wasn't enough Lings on the ground to really clean up those tanks. Finally, they're going to be going down, but we have a Doom Drop going into the main base, and the tank is exposed.
Yeah, tank goes down, but RagnaroK is being pulled apart. The Hydralisk Den is going to be taken out. It gets pretty promptly remade here, but going to be no lurkers yet, that's for sure.
Oh, just for you, Fafi. Meanwhile, the drop towards the north did take down that 5th hatchery, and we do see it moving on forward towards this mineral line as well. The infestation pit is exposed. Lings are falling Hydras as well. GG gets gold.
Wow, INnoVation all over RagnaroK there. Really nice game coming out from him. So cool to see him, with that multi-prong, with that perfect macro that, of old that we didn't really see in that first game.
Yeah, INnoVation had a lot of momentum that game. Very rarely did we ever see RagnaroK successfully counterattack. He was kind of forced to stay on his own side of the map, and sure, he had some great creep spread towards the northern side, but towards the south it was really lacking, and INnoVation was abusing that so well and so hard.
So hard, but
yeah.
He liked it.
He did, Bobby, he did. And it was great to see all that multi-prong as well, pulling RagnaroK apart, pulling apart not just his attention, but also just getting into his mind a little bit, forcing him to make a couple of mistakes, forgetting some of those upgrades as well. And now, we have a series. We have an ace match.
Yeah, this has been a really high quality TvZ so far, and even just that, to see INnoVation making such a great series with someone like RagnaroK is really promising.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And we'll see how this story does end as we're getting ready for that final game for the ace match. Oh boy, which way is it going to go, as it looks like the final game we played out on Royal Blood.
Yeah, that it is. So these two players going to be fighting tooth and nail for this spot, and it's been a really good match so far. I do think RagnaroK had a bit more success when he threw off INnoVation from his kind of standard 3cc game plan in the early game. And I do think that his best chance for success is going to be to go for something a little strange early on that might make it difficult for him to play his more standard 3cc setup.
Yeah, as much as I agree with that, I mean, we did kind of see, I guess it wasn't that early on, but that roach push kind of fell on its face as well, you know, and that kind of set the tone for game number 2. INnoVation's defense and his read of the situation was just so damn good.
That's right, but if you want, I'll be a bit more specific. I want RagnaroK to proxy hatch him.
You're an animal, Poppy. You're an animal. Oh.
Hey, it's not me. Zergs are animals. I just tell the truth.
Why?
I just say it how I say it.
Why do you want INnoVation to suffer? You don't want him to leave, Poppy. Why do you want him to leave? He just came back.
No. It's the opposite.
Oh.
He's a Terran. You have to hurt him to make him want to stay.
Aye.
If it was easy, he'd leave.
Hurt me, Poppy, hurt me. Take it away, Asher. Take us into game number 3.
Alrighty, 3, 2, 1, go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Royal Blood, using a barcode so no one knows it's him.
Oh.
Very clever. It is the Red Terran, INnoVation.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing Alpha X. It is RagnaroK. Oh boy, so yeah, you know, last game we were a little bit lucky with our requests, and the players were, of course, answering them in kind. And oh, here we go, RagnaroK. Not quite as aggressive as I'm sure you would have liked to have seen, but we do have a pool first opener from our Zerg player.
Yeah, okay, so this is going to be a bit more of that safety pool first. It could also lead into a 5 roach pressure, which I think would be strong on this map, considering we don't have a defensive ramp.
Yeah, there is no ramp into the natural base, so any kind of push is going to be that much more difficult to hold onto. So we'll keep an eye on RagnaroK here as he does go for a pool hatch opener for the time being. Should be seeing a gas afterwards. But I agree, typically a pool first is going to be that little bit more defensive, but it's RagnaroK. That's not how he is. That's not who he be.
Yeah, so we're going to be keeping our eye on what happens when this pool finishes. There's no gas yet. Okay, this is a fairly late gas, even for this build, I believe.
Yeah, 100%. This is a far later gas, guys, where we focus on saturating and even oversaturating the mineral line first. So, a very peculiar opener from RagnaroK.
Yeah, for a minute there, I thought he was going to go gasless and go for that fast third, but no, we are just going to be seeing the gas go down. We see only 2 lings being committed to, so should still be a reasonably fast third. These lings should be able to shoot away the SCV at least, but yeah, RagnaroK just going for a bit more of a tricky opener this time. Possibly more of a safety pool first. I don't know. Did INnoVation go for proxy Raxes very much?
Back in no.
Okay.
He would go for timing attacks, but proxy's not as much. So yeah, interesting choice here by RagnaroK. Of course, in current era, maybe on the latter, INnoVation is being a little bit more cheesy. It is totally possible we haven't been exposed to as much INnoVation as we want to be, and That's why we're here. We want him to expose himself to us.
Yes, please. Yeah, RagnaroK going to be pulling off gas as well, so it does delay that speed just a little bit. Behind this, INnoVation is going for a 2cc opener again, which makes me sad.
Yeah, gonna be maybe a little bit safer here. I mean, he did scout the pool first. He didn't get into the main, though. The Reaper is only just now going to be trying to slip on in and confirm. But, yo, the Queen is in position. Up.
Yeah, the Queens and Lings are in position. RagnaroK doing a really good job of balancing his range here. Usually just doing that at all is quite suspicious and makes it look like you're going for a Roach build.
Yeah.
So the fact that he does it when he's not going for a Roach build is something I really, really like about his play here.
Yeah, exactly. Just once again getting into the mind of INnoVation. And he is in there, by the way, because INnoVation is going for a Cyclone first here.
Yeah, okay. So INnoVation really respecting the setup here, playing against it as if it's going to be a 5 Roach opener.
Yeah, exactly. But he's also got a medevac on the way as well. So, of course, once he confirms that it isn't a 5 Roach opener, he is going to have access here. He's going to have a way to be a little bit aggressive as well.
Yeah, okay. He definitely thought this was Roaches.
Yeah.
It is pretty normal to go for, this medevac behind it, just because a Cyclone doesn't really do much for you in TvZ, but you can now use this medevac to go Overlord hunting.
And there we go. So with that, at least INnoVation will have some value out of this Cyclone. Here we go. The army is going to be moving on now. It's going to be hunting down as many Overlords as possible.
Yeah, first one going to be going down, not without getting a little scout here. Does catch that Rax researching, so should have a decent idea that either factory or starport units are being skipped out on here.
Yeah, exactly. As behind us, we have the 3-rack setup. We have our 3rd CC on the way, so everything's looking quite standard from INnoVation. Again, I'm sure he's going to be hoping to find a little bit more damage with this drop. Meanwhile, RagnaroK is making a swell of, I imagine, safety links for the time being, just to keep his bases safe and sound. As RagnaroK hasn't droned up too heavily, but there we go. 7 more drones are on the way.
Yeah, there we go. Just going back to that droning there, we have that Lair and the Bane Nest coming down at a pretty reasonable time here. So looks like RagnaroK quite confident that he is safe and comfortable now.
Yeah, pretty standard setup overall. Meanwhile, we have 4 Queens waiting in the main base as well. The drop does get forced out, does get forced back. And RagnaroK is going to be testing the waters here with his Lings, just making sure that the wall is sturdy, that it is, in fact, a wall.
Yeah, the wall is made of wall, as you would expect. RagnaroK also just going to make it difficult for INnoVation to land his 3rd here.
Exactly. As he comes in from behind, he's going to try and catch this Cyclone, but no, INnoVation is a little bit too quick for that. He does pick up in time, does get the hell out of there. We've got 1-1 on the way. INnoVation soon going to be taking his 3rd, and everything's, again, just slowing down a little bit, just looking like a quite standard setup, getting into the mid-game.
You gotta be quicker than that. As, RagnaroK going to be doing something a little bit different here. Not taking all of his gases, so going to be playing more of a standard style. I'm happy to see this, actually.
Yeah, there we go. Game 1, we saw the Mutas. Game 2, we saw more Roach Ravager play, but here we have our Ling Bane instead. This could go Ling Bane straight into Hive as well. We'll keep an eye on those gases to see if he does invest into those Hydras.
He's playing StarCraft.
Oh, but you hate that.
Well, Zerg's playing StarCraft is cheating. It's too strong.
Oh god! Ooh,
no!
Speaking of, we do see the drop does go down across the map here. The Cyclone the Cyclone drop was just a little bit too cavalier, just get caught out by those Queens.
Man, Queens. Insane. Absolutely crazy.
True. They shouldn't be allowed to shoot up.
They shouldn't be allowed. You're right.
As RagnaroK's just taking control of his side of the map, just spreading creep throughout the center. We have our 5th base on the way. There's that Hydra that we were talking about. So Ling Bane Hydra will be the composition of choice. We're not going straight into Hive for Ultras or anything crazy like that. And RagnaroK is looking to try and catch a tank.
Yeah, I love how he's doing this. He's kind of waiting for the moment that INnoVation moves out, but wow, that tank actually got an insane amount of damage with those Lings. Looks like, was actually targeting it to hit the center mass of the Lings. But yeah, I think this move is mostly designed by RagnaroK to be able to bring the army of INnoVation home. I'm sure he wasn't planning to lose quite that much.
Yeah, he brought the army home, but at what cost? big chunk of links went down for not enough for return. So a good trade overall for INnoVation, I feel. I'm sure he would have liked to have kept that tank, but he's transitioning out of it. And oh, we do have drilling claws on the way for Widowmines.
Yeah, okay, so he's going to be going into that more standard biomine style, not going for an 8-racks tank push, just going for the faster fourth here, playing what has been the standard in TvZ for quite a while now, so nice to see both players mixing things up.
Yeah, exactly. We finally get what we wanted here at the end of this series, some more standard straight-up play between these two players. Looks like RagnaroK is looking for some free units, so he's looking for an opening, doesn't quite find it. The Marines, of course, are paying attention for INnoVation, and the fourth is on the way.
Yeah, RagnaroK posturing very aggressively, but with that, INnoVation going to be able to split off this drop to the left-hand side, take out a good amount of this creep, and now he sets up on the right-hand side as well. That's what this biomine style is so very good at, is this split pushing. The mines, oh, that wasn't great. They're all burrowed together, so they will be taken out rather efficiently by the Zerg.
Yeah, the drop play is good, and a lot of creep has been cleaned up, but as you said, the mine count is going to be reset here. RagnaroK is able to keep up with the multi-prong harassment once again. Oh my god, the Medivacs up! Oh, how?
Oh.
It somehow gets out of range of the Queen.
Yeah, that Cyclone Medevac not faring too well, but these Marines going to be thanking their lucky stars. They got a slightly better pilot here, and they will be able to get out of there with their lives as this right-hand side being pushed back once again by RagnaroK. The splits were decent enough to prevent the Banelings from all going down, but still INnoVation taking nice trades overall.
Yeah, good mine shots overall here from INnoVation. At the same time, we don't see a cancel on the top left-hand base. RagnaroK is looking to take his 6th base as we speak. Hasn't been trading the best with his Ling Bane, but he has the freedom to do so. He has the map control. There's not too much pressure on him right now as he can remax and rebuild. Up.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job of just matching INnoVation here, but here we go. The mine is going to be coming in, taken out quite comfortably there by RagnaroK, and INnoVation stims on in to deny this left base. Once again, he is playing this extremely well, and RagnaroK's army on the left here caught quite far out of position.
Oh, that's a kill, not a cancel on that top left 6th base here. So RagnaroK, his attention a little bit too spread thin, as INnoVation is going to keep on pushing, keeping on keeping on top of this creep thread.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job pushing this back. Unfortunately, doesn't get the active tumors. That's basically what he is looking for here, but just keeping track of both sides as well as he can.
He is. Meanwhile, we do see Ling Bane getting on top of this bio army, does trade relatively well, forces the pickup, but at the same time, INnoVation is focusing on the right-hand side. Instead, he's getting on top of these Hydras, but the army was waiting for him. Up! Ooh.
Oh, the mine doesn't go off, takes out a very nice chunk of lings there, but no more mines to fall back onto. INnoVation just going to have to back up for the moment. This left-hand side going once again, clears out a good amount of creep. He is being flanked though. Is he going to be fast enough on the mine burrows?
We'll see. The mines do burrow, and it looks like one shot is going to be able to go off in the end, and the rest does get picked up. No Hydras here in position, so the Medevacs do get out.
Yeah, you know, even going for the light move, sniping it down the detection there to be able to give those mines a little bit of extra life. And he is just continuing to apply the pressure so very well. Unfortunately, dropping on top of these spores is going to be losing a few of those Marines in the medevacs.
Yeah, we did see that massive Dune drop. It is going to be deflecting the main base. At the same time, the drop on the left-hand side, not quite enough attention there, does go down to those Banelings.
Yeah, pretty poor trade on the left-hand side, but INnoVation just pulling RagnaroK this way and that. Having his way with him takes out the base here, and that is going to be a pretty important mining base denied there.
It really is. Meanwhile, as he goes back into the main base, it looks like the Spire is going to be going down, so a transition into Mutas or even Broodlords is going to take that much longer. But do we really care? Because the Lurker Den is on the way. On the left-hand side, also, RagnaroK is going to be able to clean up this army.
Yeah, Lurker Den on the way, so it's going to slow down things quite a lot here. Meanwhile, for INnoVation, looks like he hasn't had the chance yet to throw down the Ghost Academy. There we go. He does finally get that down, and his extra orbitals as well. So it looks like he's aware of the Hive Tech transition.
Yeah, he was able to scout that Hive earlier at least. But these drops are being cleaned up. We can see that on the right-hand side, there are only Medevacs left, just going to be limping on back home. But INnoVation, he reinforces his army on the left-hand side. Once again, he's looking to snipe this hatchery.
Yeah, doing such a great job with this buy. RagnaroK has pretty huge amount of Ling Bane here. Oh, he's got to be really careful. Great splits of the Banelings there. Going to be taking out those mines as efficiently as he can. And now this PF's in trouble. It's going to go down.
Yeah, the Banelings roll on in. The Planetary Fortress will go down. We don't lose any SCVs, but the base itself has fallen at the same time, though INnoVation is gaining ground on the left-hand side. Mine shots are looking to go off. Not really too many Banelings here to defend. They do have to be brought over from the other side.
Nice unborrow from INnoVation there, and he might be able to get these shots on the Banelings. Good mine shot does go off, but looks like RagnaroK has enough to push this back.
Oh, he does, but you know what? INnoVation, he just picks up, he drops off once again. He's not going to be able to find too much damage, but he's keeping the attention of RagnaroK here on the left-hand side as he pushes in towards the right. But oh, the Banelings are waiting for it! No!
Yeah, he didn't really pay attention to that right-hand side, just sent it in there, and the Banelings were in position. RagnaroK even pulling them back for a moment, giving INnoVation extra time to react, but unfortunately not going to be good enough as we see the first few lurkers being started up.
Yeah, RagnaroK, he was just terrified at the Marines rushing up the ramp. He was like, ah! Then he saw that they were sleepwalking. They weren't even they weren't awake at the wheel, Papi. And here we go. As you were saying, the first lunkers are hitting the field, but you know what? INnoVation, he doesn't give a damn. He's pushing on forward anyway. This center base is quite exposed. A lot of drones are going to be going down here as the mine shots go off.
Oh, big mine shots. It's been a while for INnoVation since those mines really hit big, and finally, after all of this pushing, he gets his reward. He's going to be breaking through a little on the right-hand side as well, but the lurkers will be holding strong.
Yeah, the lurkers will be able to hold on to that right-hand side, but we don't have enough to split between our bases here as INnoVation is finding more ground over towards the left. It looks like he's going to be trading against these Lings, but there looks to be more than enough Zerg to clean this up.
Yeah, pretty solid trade against the Lings, and RagnaroK here is starting to run short on Banelings, spending a lot of his gas here on lurkers.
Yeah, but that lurker count is getting quite damn high. Looking at the user side, we have 8. We're about to have 11 lunkers available. 2 of them are going down on the right-hand side, though, and RagnaroK is committed to this push.
Oh, this tank is going to get some really high-value shots here as all the Ling Bane bunches up. The mine's going to get some very high-value shots as well, and that's most of the Banelings of RagnaroK going down. These lurkers now looking rather exposed.
Yeah, lunkers on their own, they are quite vulnerable. And here we go, we have the mass surround being set up by INnoVation.
Wow, yeah, fantastic fight there. Has all the Ling Bane buffer goes down. Every single lurker going to be going down as well. He has some craftily placed over here, but it's actually going to backfire a little bit because there's not enough support for it.
There really is not. RagnaroK, there was something pressuring him to counterattack when he did. He had enough about all this drop play, all this multi-prong aggression, but alas, he may have just thrown away a little bit too much. He does go for a big counterattack. He does take down the planetary on the right-hand side, but does he have enough to keep going?
Yeah, great little Ling Bane split there, but INnoVation finds himself a really nice spot, and all he has to do here is just trade reasonably well, as he does have a pretty hefty supply lead now.
He really does. Banelings going towards the triangular third, but no, they do go down without detonating on that mineral line. INnoVation has held, he has defended, he has a 4th base on the left-hand side of the map as well. He's not really too concerned with retaking that planetary. RagnaroK is desperately trying to rebuild his lurkers, but he doesn't really have a bank to work with.
Yeah, really nice anti-mine micro coming out from RagnaroK, but now he's left with basically just a handful of lurkers and some Lings. And if INnoVation starts split pushing once again, it's going to be incredibly hard for RagnaroK to hold on.
Oh, but INnoVation, he wants to go for the kill. He sims on forward, he scans, and he's focusing down 3 of these lurkers already. Oh my god.
Yeah, now the ghosts are going to come on through, snipe down the rest of them. Feels like he has broken RagnaroK here. I think he's done it.
Wow, he has broken on through. The lurkers get completely reset. The base has fallen. The boys are going down as well. And RagnaroK desperately trying to morph in more lurkers in the face of INnoVation.
Yeah, but INnoVation, he finds those lurkers. The victory march just stutter stepping his way through the base. GG is called, and INnoVation takes out RagnaroK.
Wow, GG, well played. INnoVation bringing it back here in the Ace match with some much more standard play, but anything about it was standard. With the multi-prong aggression was insane. He was pulling RagnaroK apart, to the point where it felt as if like I could feel his frustrations. He was like, enough. He's like, stop with all the drops. I'm just gonna send it right through the middle here with all of my lurkers. But it just was not the play, you know. It was kind of a Hail Mary play that ended the game for himself. Oh.
Yeah, it was not meant to be. And with that, INnoVation is going to be qualifying. We are going to be seeing him in the GSL.
There you go. GG, well played. Congratulations to INnoVation as he takes down RagnaroK in the qualifying match, and he will be in that GSL as you were mentioning. Wow, and it's great to see him back here. We saw him falter a little bit in some of those games, not quite in the form that we remember him as, but at the same time, this series was played out a couple of weeks ago, and they have had plenty of time to prepare for GSL. GSL does begin tomorrow.
Yeah, there we go. So something to look forward to for everybody. That should be fantastic, and really looking forward to it myself.
Definitely, definitely, and I hope to see INnoVation maybe picked up by a team. You know, you may have noticed, but we didn't really introduce him as being on one because he's teamless at the moment. And if he does do quite well, then he could be an asset in the WTL in World Team League. The teams are allowed to pick up players. They do have a bit of a cooldown period where if you sign a new player, it takes 2 weeks for them to actually be fielded in WTL, but he may be a player worth looking into.
Yeah, if he's going to play like that, definitely.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Definitely. As with that, yeah, GG, well played. Yeah, really well done here. Not just to INnoVation, but all the players, whether it's INnoVation, Stats, as well as Bunny. I guess we can talk about the event itself a little bit more, and that is the fact that we had all the players that played today qualify, I believe. You know, there were multiple days of the qualifiers, and each bracket was double elimination. Oh no, actually, RagnaroK didn't make it,
I think
right?
RagnaroK didn't
Yeah,
RagnaroK didn't qualify.
That was the big one. Oof. GG.
Yeah, definitely quite painful though.
Yeah, one less Zerg player gonna be a part of GSL. It's a little bit heartbreaking. Just double checking. Only 3 Zerg players made it through the qualifiers. As to be expected, they are the weakest race here. Only Dark, Dongregu, and Solar did make it through. Oh, GG.
GG.
And yeah, thank you so much everyone for tuning in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much everyone for being a part of this lovely broadcast as well. I know we're not typically live here on Africa. I also know that the TL event sidebar was a little bit broken as well, so it's a little bit harder for people to find us here. A little bit smudged, a little bit unfortunate, but I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. I hope everyone enjoyed the games, because there were some really good games here, and these games will eventually be uploaded to our YouTube channel as well, where hopefully we can reach a wider audience.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go. With that, Asher, thank you so much for joining me today. For some great StarCraft. Not too long of a broadcast either. I know we're typically used to like these 3 or 4 hour casts, but something a little bit shorter, a little bit sweeter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and some really good games. Glad to get to see them.
Yeah, 100%. I hope everyone in the chat is likewise feeling similar as well. And with that, I guess we are going to be done here for the evening. We don't have another broadcast set up for today, only the one for now. But if you want some more Cranky Duckling action, we're going to be live tomorrow for ESL Open Cup Americas. Not just that, but right after ESL Open Cup Americas, Rice Cup, a bit of an amateur tournament hosted by Rise, is going to be running as well. In the middle of the day, so I don't really know how well it's going to go, but we'll be there to cast it anyway to support the local amateur scene as well. And yeah, I'm sure a lot of fun games will be had.
Yeah, it's definitely one to look forward to. I'll have that on the side monitor while I'm doing a bit of work for sure.
There you go. You mean when you're laddering?
No.
We need to talk about this, Asher.
No.
Aye. But if people want to tune into more of yourself, Asher, you've been streaming a little bit more recently. Mate, when is the next Krug live stream? When is it?
Oh. I think you're doing it on the weekend. Are we allowed to talk about that platform on this platform?
I'm
Probably not.
Check out Twitter, AsherBro on Twitter, because you totally tweet whenever you go live, right, Asher?
That's true, yeah. I do, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I'd never done it before, but... Oh, and I won't. I also won't.
Why not? Why don't you?
Can't be bothered.
God. But yeah, Asher does, or I guess you're going to be planning to stream some Krug life over the weekend, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, if I find the time.
There you go. Beautiful. What was actually this weekend is WTL, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh. Okay, I guess not then.
Yeah, we're gonna be quite busy here on the CranKy Ducklings, as we usually are. You know, we have the ESL Americas tomorrow, we have Kung Fu Cup on Wednesday, we have Sparkling Tuna Cup on Thursday, and WTL Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So plenty of StarCraft ahead of us. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. And yeah, with that, we will bid you adieu. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right. Good night.
Oh.
Bonjour.